told you about what happened to the Scandinavian countries during the war, after the war. Italy, because Italy was, Mussolini and was part of the Axis, we bombed Italy. Italy was largely, the industry was largely destroyed in World War II. So after the war, Italy had to really rebuild itself. And the first thing that happened was industry was much more adventurous. If you start a factory and you have no business, you're building a new factory, a designer comes to you with a very innovative design and you're not sure if you'll be able to sell them. Well, you're going to give them a chance because you have nothing to lose, you have no business anyway. You're going to start with whatever materials you can find because, as I said, the country's been destroyed. So you will use inexpensive materials, you'll use plastic, you'll use pieces of industrial rubber tubing maybe, or aluminum, whatever you can find. So it was an atmosphere more open to innovation and creativity. What about the Scandinavians? Well, Scandinavians had great success. They had produced furniture that everybody thought was wonderful. They were selling it. They also believed in the idea of a good piece, well designed, that performed its function. So if this chair was good and you bought it last year, and you came to them this year and said, what have you got in a chair? You said, I've got this chair. I'm exaggerating, of course. And they would say, well, what have you got that's new? And you say, well, this is such a good chair. Why do you need anything different? Their attitude tended to be less to accommodate the market by doing new things than to continue to do what they knew they could do best. Well, the marketplace doesn't work that way. The Italians came along with new ideas, new design, jazzy colors, clever things, and the market shifted, meaning the publications, the editors, the designers, the critics, the magazines, well, I said the magazines, and the stores ultimately started marketing Italian design, and Italian was the next hot new thing. I'm going to show you some of where it began. Okay, Gio Ponti was an architect who was largely responsible for getting the image of Italian design internationally known. With a publication, he was an architect, he did do some important buildings, but he became editor of a magazine called Domus, which was one of the leading design magazines. And Domus showed Italian design, and anybody who wanted to know about design read Domus. Also, Interni was another, he didn't edit that, and Abitari was the third. And these magazines still exist. Abitari is the one that we still get, I think, and Domus. And I don't remember about Interni. But they were what you would read if you wanted to be on top of design. You didn't read, well, let's see, I think the ancestors of interiors and interior design